Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to get your Arduino to have a blinking LED like this. And this will be uh, the first Arduino tutorial I'll ever make. This is the Arduino Mega, but this tutorial will work on other Arduino models such as the Arduino Uno, anything that has a built-in LED. So anyway, let's get started.
All right, so let's get started. First of all, I'm assuming that you already have an Arduino, for example, the Arduino Uno or the Arduino Mega. This will work on any Arduino that has a built-in LED, but I'm assuming you already have that bought and a cable so that you can connect to the computer. So that you can connect your Arduino to the computer. So anyway, let's get started into this tutorial. So first things first, we want to actually download the Arduino website. So just type in Arduino and then go to the home page. Oh, sorry, we don't want to download the website. We want to download the IDE. Go to software, hit downloads over here. And then if you scroll down a bit, you'll be able to see the Arduino IDE. This is what we want to download. This will be our environment for actually coding and then programming the Arduino. This is what will help us with that. For this tutorial, I'll be using Windows. But if you're on Mac or Linux, you can just use the downloads below to download the IDE. Keep in mind, if you're on Linux, you want to make sure that you're on the right, you're using the right architecture. So, for example, the 64-bit Arduino IDE won't work with a 32-bit system. I tried that and it wasn't good. Anyway, let's just get back to the Arduino. So once you have the Arduino connected to your computer, feel free to go ahead and install the Arduino IDE and then open it up. Once you open the Arduino up, you should see a screen like this. Head on over to Tools and then choose your board. So if you're on the Arduino Uno, you're going to choose the Uno selection over here. If you're on the Mega like I am, use this Mega selection over here. The processor should be okay at default. And then this is what you actually want to select. This is like the port that your Arduino is connected to. So just choose the one where you see Arduino Uno or Mega, whichever one you're using. I only have one thing connected to my computer, which is the Mega. So that's why I only have one option here, and I have it selected. So once you have it selected and you confirm it's selected with the check mark, you're able to actually program your Arduino now. So let's just program our Arduino. So let's think about this. Let's just look at the Arduino Uno schematic. So I'll just switch over to the browser here. So here I have the Arduino Uno. This is just any default Arduino Uno. You don't have to buy the official one. Most Arduinos will be fine. Most knockoffs will be fine, and you'll be saving a lot of money if you buy the knockoff. But here's the official one. And as you can see, right here on... Oh, sorry about that. You can't see my browser? Now you can. There we go. Sorry about that. Right here on the Arduino Uno, this is just the official Arduino Uno, but remember, most Arduinos are the same, knockoff or whatever. You'll be saving a lot of money if you buy a knockoff. Anyway, as you can see over here, the Arduino has a few LEDs, such as this on LED over here on the right-hand side, where my mouse is. And then you also have two LEDs on the left-hand side, which are the transmit and the receive. So this on LED, I'm guessing you guys already know what this will be. If the Arduino is connected, this will be green. So it means it's the Arduino's on, it's working, it has power. The transmit will be if the Arduino is sending you any data. So if the Arduino is sending, for example, via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or even just to your computer, some print statements, the transmit will be flashing. And then the RX means receive. So this is if the Arduino is receiving any data. So for example, if you have any sensors hooked up, like the distance measurements or temperature measurements, any type of sensor or any reading, this light will be flashing. But there is another LED which we can actually use and program for whatever we want. And that's this one right here. So this is a general purpose, just a normal LED, which we can actually program. So this LED is actually connected to pin 13. It's kind of hard to tell by lining it up, but we just know by default. And also, if you look at the schematic, pin 13 is what controls this LED. So if we want to actually make this LED flash, we can go and program this LED using pin 13. Whatever we do to pin 13 will affect this LED. So with that knowledge, we can go ahead back to our Arduino IDE and go ahead and program that. So we want to write data to pin 13, right? We want to write voltage, set the voltage high. So we're sending power to pin 13. That will in turn send power to our LED, keep making it on. So how do we do that? We can remember all pins can either send voltage or receive voltage. So we have to specify if we want to send voltage to the pin or if we want to receive the voltage into the pin. And the way to do that is you have to go in here in your void setup. The void setup code only runs once. So we put any configuration over here, like telling the pin if it's going to be sending voltage or receiving. So in our case, we'll be sending voltage. So the way to do that is using pin mode, and then pin mode, this function, takes two parameters. Which pin number it is, so for us we're doing pin 13, and then if it'll be an output or an input. So an output means that we're sending voltage from the pin. The voltage will be sending, the pin will be sending voltage. If it's an input, we'll be receiving. So in our case, we're making an LED blink, so we're sending voltage, so we'll put output in all caps. And we end, in the Arduino language, we always end with a semicolon, similar to C or any other languages, which you may be familiar with. So once we have that code in there, we actually have to send the voltage. So remember, all the configuration we put in our void setup, now we can actually put what we want to send in our void loop. So we want the pin, right now let's just turn the LED on, just to make sure that Arduino works. So the way to do that is with a digital write, and then the pin, so for us it's pin 13, and then digital write is either an on or an off. Any digital signal is either high or low, on or off. On is high, same thing as 5 volts, sending 5 volts. Off is low, same thing as sending 0 volts. So we're doing digital write 13, and we want the LED to be on, so we want to put it high. So now once we have this, we can save it. Save it with Control S, or you can go to File and then click Save. And then save it to whatever. I can do like Arduino tutorial. You can save it, choose whatever name you'd like. And now once you have it saved, you can go ahead and use this arrow button to upload the sketch to the Arduino. So let's click the button, and then at the bottom it'll say compiling sketch. You'll see the green bar on the right hand side. And once that is done, it'll tell us how much memory we're using of the Arduino, if it compiled and sent successfully, which it seems like it did. And since this is a very small program, it says it's using 0%. If you're on the Uno, it'll be using a bit more than 0% because the Arduino, the Mega has a lot more space. But it looks like everything finished successfully, done uploading. So now we'll see how the Arduino looks like.
Okay, so we just finished. This is my recording. We just finished uploading the program, and we have the Arduino connected. Make sure, oh yeah, if it gives you an error, like it can't upload the program or something, or it can't find the Arduino, make sure to just disconnect, reconnect the Arduino, and then close the IDE and reopen the Arduino IDE. That usually fixes the problem for me. But anyway, sure enough, we have the LED on. So that's pin 13. That's the LED related to pin 13. We set the voltage high, so it's on. This green LED means that we have power, so that's good. So now, what if instead of just having the LED on, we want it to blink, like let's say every second? Well, I'll show you how to do that right now.
So to actually make the LED blink instead of just being stuck at on, we can use something called a delay. So what a delay is it's basically self-explanatory. It's a delay in your code. So we want to actually go write the voltage as high and then wait for 1 second. So we want to you can use // as a comment. So we want to wait for 1 second. Comments won't be read by the Arduino, so don't worry about this. So we want to wait for 1 second and then turn LED off. So how can we do that? So this line turns the LED on. Turns LED on. So then to turn it off, I guess it'll be the same thing with pin 13. But instead of doing it high, we want to do it low. But now the problem is if we run this, you can go ahead and try it, but basically it won't really work. Like you'll be stuck in a weird state because it'll be just switching from on to off so fast your eyes won't even be able to see the LED being on. So like it'll be really weird. We want to wait for 1 second, have it on, wait for 1 second, have it off for 1 second. So actually to do that, we can go over here and then we can actually add delay. So we can just type in delay, and then this takes a parameter in milliseconds. So 1 second is 1000 milliseconds. Semicolon. So now what the code will do, let's just read it over. It'll set the value high, so LED's on, wait for 1 second, and then LED's off. So now take a moment and try to see if you can figure out the bug in this program. Please pause the video if you want to try it by yourself. If not, for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, the bug is that, let's read the code. Remember, in the setup we run the code once, this is all our configuration, and then in the loop we execute this code over and over and over again. So let's read it. So we're turning the LED on, we wait for 1 second, turn the LED off, and then we go back to the top and turn the LED on. But here's the problem. We're not waiting 1 second after we turn the LED off. So the LED, we won't even notice the LED being off because we're not even waiting any time. It'll just go back to turning the LED back on. So we won't even notice it off. So we have to wait for 1 more second here. And the code to do that is once again delay 1000. So now if we save and then upload our program, just make sure that everything uploads correctly, the LED should now be flashing.
And sure enough, we have the LED flashing, just as we expected. So now what is this doing? It's doing just what our code told it to do. We're setting the LED on with the voltage being high. Then we're waiting for 1 second, setting the voltage off, turning the LED off, waiting for 1 more second, and then going back to the top. So let's see. It's off, on for 1 second, off for 1 second, on for 1 second. Works just like we programmed it to.
So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to see more Arduino tutorials, please consider subscribing or following me on Library. This video will be up on YouTube a few days after I post it on Library, so for any people who want to be early birds, head on over to Library and then you can check out my tutorials over there. I'll be doing more Arduino stuff and other tech-related tutorials like web apps and C++ coding or whatever kind of programming languages you want over on that video, on the Library channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope I can see you again in the next one. See ya.